We are doing the Filipino American Experience by Joaquin, Ezra, Nathan, and me, Alexa.
My name is Ezra, and our goal of our project is to highlight the microaggressions that Filipino Americans may encounter throughout our lives.
Thank you, Ezra. And I'm Joaquin, and I will be presenting some facts and statistics supporting the purpose of our project. So first of all, I just want to let everyone know that Philippines actually make up 18% of the Asian population in the United States, which is a very large portion of the Asian population. In spite of this, Filipino Americans are still often perceived or mistaken as other non-Asian groups, such as Latinos, Black Americans, and other races. And some of the most common microaggressions that Filipino Americans express in their day-to-day lives are just feeling alien in their own land, despite being an American citizen and being viewed as a second-class citizen. And a lot of women, especially, are viewed as exotic and sexualized, and men are often experience demasculinization and are seen as less just by being Filipino American. And in addition to these unique immigration and historical and economical contexts, a lot of second generation or children of immigrants of the Philippines tend to also have lower college completion rates compared to their immigrant parents who have received their bachelors from the Philippines. And moving on.
Amazing. So with this specific slide, there's a lot of information that I included, but for this presentation, I will focus specifically on the microaggressions that Filipinos are nurses or domestic workers. So this isn't only an American thing, but since we're presenting Filipino Americans, this is a pretty relevant issue for Filipino Americans today. And so some background is that in the colonization years, the American period of the Philippines, where it was colonized by the US for over 30 years, and so it was the Commonwealth, and then the Philippines reached its independence. Even after the Philippines reached independence, it wasn't truly free from the US just yet. At that time, the Philippines was highly influenced by American propaganda, such as the benevolent assimilation, which in short is a way from the Americans to supplant the Philippine identity with the American identity. And so in terms of nurses, like especially in World War II, a lot of Filipino nurses were trained in the Philippines specifically to aid in the American war effort. And at the end of World War II, the funding for training American nurses in the military, for example, dried up. So American nurses simply did not want to work as nurses anymore. And so Filipino nurses were cheaper labor, and the American dream, which was spread into the Philippines, like a lot of Filipina nurses filled in that spot. Furthermore, with the decline of the Philippine economy and the stagnation of the Philippine economy because of the United States and corruption of the government, a lot of Filipinos are stuck in poverty looking for new opportunities abroad. And so a lot of spots opened up for nurses and domestic workers overseas, especially in the United States. However, especially as in the Marcos administration, where the Philippine funds were drying up because of all sorts of embezzlement by Ferdinand Marcos and his colleagues, a cheap source of income for the Marcos administration was the exportation of Filipino labor, which started in the 1970s and still continue on today. And for example, $3.6 billion of remittances were accounted for in the Philippine economy in 2022. And remittances are basically money sent back from the wages. Let's say I work here in the United States and have a family to support in the Philippines. Like I send part of my wages back to my family in the Philippines, and that's called the remittance. So there's some income earned for the Philippine economy through remittance, and it still continues to be a big part of the Philippine economy today.
All right, some things that we've learned from our research is that many of the things that Joaquin stated from statistics really align with our own
experiences as Filipino Americans living in America. A lot of us, are always mistaken as another race. And although we Filipino Americans come from all sorts of backgrounds, it's only an umbrella term for a infinitely diverse community of people. And although labels like Asian American and Filipino American can unite people, it can really lead to erasure without adequate background.
Hi, thank you, Alexa. So the things that we can do to educate the world about who we really are is to rebuild and support many Filipino historical groups that have been struggling throughout the times, as well as giving everyone more educational lessons expressing the differences between the Filipino American community and helping show that we are not just quote-unquote Filipinos.
And that is the end of our presentation. And here's the works cited. Thank you.